so long. How'd you put that on? I don't know, man.
I think that'd be awesome.
You can get poked right in the face, man. You're so bummed. Let's see what it feels like to struggle.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it feels great. You see how this feels?
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
We're at the Again Faster Team Summit, man. I'm stoked. We've got CrossFit's best and brightest coaches with the best and brightest athletes. We're challenging these guys. I'm actually shocked at how challenged they seem to be. You know, we programmed this to expose weaknesses, and so they're competing this weekend. They're going to get coached on technique this weekend. There are some sick surprises for them this weekend. The unknown and unknowable truly will come into fashion. Jeff Tucker's here, Coach B's here, Dave Castro, Nicole Carroll are here, Greg Amundsen, original fire breathers here, Aaron Cafaro, gold medalist in the Beijing 8. Chad Vaughn, Olympian, is here to coach these guys as well, and some of the most underrated athletes on the planet. You're going to know their names soon.
Like this is like one of those like G8 summits they have in like the from politics. It's like we need to have special security around the building to make sure nothing goes down. But it's pretty cool. I mean, athletes, coaches, people. I mean, it's one of those things that you don't ever fathom happening. So, and of course, we have no idea what we're doing for the next like 36 hours. So. It's normal. It's another day, all right? Yeah.
You gotta really keep that stuff.
I know. I'm actually going to see the movie tonight.
TV?
Yeah.
A little scared. Don't really know what they have in store for
I
us.
don't really know what to expect, man. Not a clue.
But I love all the people I'm around, and I'm really looking forward to working out with them and having some fun.
You guys like want to, so much like learn and crap. Like you're thinking about that too.
Oh, that as well. I'd like a nicer snatch.
I thought it was. Don't tell her you said that.
Your hair's beautiful.
Thanks, man. It's inspired by Spencer
So
Handel.
if you touch them together, what happens?
The world will end. I'm not going to do it. It's too powerful. Come on. The meal will explode.
Well, this is a unique group because I think that athletes like this inherently know the power of their self-talk and the value of setting goals for themselves. So if anything for this group, it's just going to be hopefully some motivation and some inspiration and maybe a reminder of things they already know. But let's face it, these guys are the future of CrossFit. These guys are awesome.
Do you think you have stuff like that you can learn from them? Yeah.
Oh, that's why I'm standing here watching these guys. I'm taking notes myself. Yeah, these guys are they're amazing. Mentally and physically, these guys are awesome.
Can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
Who's the hottest guy here?
It's got to be Chad Vaughn. His quads are phenomenal. There's no question. I think I have a man crush on him. I can't wait to see him lift. I may have to like sit down for that.
Just getting to travel around and work with guys like this and be surrounded by these great people is it's amazing. Who can complain? I can't.
Are you guys gonna have a CrossFit Hall of Fame?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, especially after I said that today. No one else knows it yet, but we will. We are. Yeah.
That's really cool. Is it weird then, like, thinking about it, like, in 10 years, like, how many of these people are going to be in, like, the CrossFit Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it is weird thinking that. It's I got to figure out how the other sports do their Hall of Fames and get some ideas from that. But we definitely will have one, and a lot of these guys will be part of it.
That's amazing. There's so much knowledge and ability in the same place. Because there's the Again Faster team, which is just some of the best athletes in the world, and then some of the most experienced specialty coaches in the world. And I plan on learning equally from both, because I think these athletes have a lot to give too. So.
All right. How many of you guys are nervous?
I am.
Cool. Don't be. This is just straight CrossFit. Now the format's going to be a little different. Here's the way this is going to work. You are going to participate in 3 WODs this weekend. This is going to be the first one. The second one will occur tomorrow morning. The third one tomorrow afternoon, and there may be something at the end of that as well. For our winner of the summit, we have this trophy. It says, Again Faster Summit Ninja. It's official, you're a badass motherfucker. Okay, so we want you to take that home. So here's what we're gonna do, guys. Ben's gonna brief WOD A and WOD B. Pay careful attention, it might be your time to go. And ground to overhead, 185, 135. Before you get started with that, there is a buy-in of bar, muscle ups, 9 for the guys, 6 for the girls. WOD B, which will go right after the first WOD. WOD B is 3 rounds for time. Wall balls and pull-ups. The wall balls are 30 and 20.
It was tough. Not a walk in the park, that's for sure.
Does this always happen?
Am I red?
Yeah.
I can't even tell. I'm sure it'll hurt tomorrow. Sometimes I just have like big purple spots. That's what I was talking about. That 185 just feels kind of heavy on my frame. So it went pretty good though.
Yeah. Question.
Yeah.
Who's the hottest guy here?
Hottest guy?
Yeah.
By far?
Yeah.
Spencer Hendel.
Yeah.
Spencer Hendel.
Does he turns you on?
The other day, he was accusing chestnuts of being lazy. Turns off a light in your house, he goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
You got beat by a little tiny French girl.
What else?
But you know.
It's been my CrossFit career.
Who's the hottest guy here today?
The hottest guy, like who has the best body and who am I most like thinking about, like when I go to bed at night, who am I thinking about? Definitely John Gilson, for sure. His calves are just so hot. And the fact that he's actually missing triceps is just like, there's something about like freakishly hot about that.
I'm gonna put you out there because I love the Tom Brady cut.
It's actually the Ben Bergeron cut.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things when you're doing reps inside of a CrossFit workout, you want to go as fast as possible, but what I see is if you take just another second to set up from the floor, get a better position, you're going to use less energy, it's going to be more efficient, and in the long run, it's going to help you actually go faster. Right? So that's kind of, the advice that I would give them and what I would stay on them about.
When you do CrossFit WODs and stuff, right?
Not done a lot, but I've done some, yeah.
And when there's Olympic lifting incorporated into that, do you kill that part or?
I probably take more time than necessary. Like I was talking about the setup, I kind of, exaggerate to that end just because I've Olympic lifted for so long. But the prescribed weights are always just really easy for me, obviously. But I definitely don't have that capacity, the work capacity that they do. So it's still difficult for sure.
If you did arch your back, then essentially what you would be doing is this, right? So doing your press with this way out in front of you with an arched body form is horrible. So that you got dialed in.
Okay, I feel like it's been getting better. But I just know, like, if I see high reps, or if I see, especially like on the ring, something where I'm just prone to hitting failure a little quicker, the second I feel like that rep's stalling, I hitch here and start wiggling through it.
Let's talk about what the goal is for a second. So if we're training something Russ, for strength and form, this is what we want. We know that this is going to translate into our WOD eventually. Heavy Diane, right? This is a harder movement for you. So I would tell you once in a while, hey, do that benchmark with this form. And don't worry about that clock, go for strength and form. Then what's going to happen is when we get ready for Heavy Diane, let's just say it's at the game day or sectionals or whatever, what you want is what you originally did. That short distance from A to B. But you don't have any bad habits here. Your legs aren't apart, they're together, which means you're a nice tight piece of muscle. The only thing you got to worry about is that active tissue going up and down. Your legs apart, in my opinion, work against you. Because if I bring my legs apart, I'm no longer contracting and squeezing that core, right? And they can actually work as something that you have to control when you go up and down. You don't want that. What you got is dialed in, man. It's sweet. The one mistake that most people will make is that they don't understand that this chin is connected to their tailbone. So, you know, in other words, if I start to raise my head and I arch my back and I let go of that midline, I got a problem.
That's what happens to me when I'm holding a freestanding handstand. The second I do this, I fall over.
Well, because you're looking at a focal point, you got a different movement. If you're doing a freestanding handstand in the room, you are balancing, right? And if you're going to do a push-up in the room, you're basically going to do this same movement you did here. You're going out in front toward that triangle point, then back up. So you've got this type. Here's your shoulder, right? You've got this type of movement going on versus this type of movement with your headstand push-up. So it's a totally different move, totally different load. I tell people all the time, look. My old coach used to say, look toward your wrist, because my wrist will always wear on the apparatus. If the floor is the apparatus, that's why I'm looking toward the floor. So if you want to do that, that's great, but you can do it with just looking with your eyes. If I look at you right now, don't raise my chin, and I look up, I can literally see the light above me. I don't have to do this. Make sense? But if I do this in that movement, and I've arched my back and I let go of my midline, yeah, I'm going to lose control.
Hottest guy here? Oh, God. Hottest boy here is James Hobart, but he's a boy. There's a difference there. Hottest guy, like, man?
That sounds weird.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so you're attracted to him because he's a boy?
Yeah, James Hobart's a boy.
So you're attracted to him?
Absolutely. In like an anime sort of way, you know? It's like an androgynous sort of young man. And don't put this in video.
400s at your mile PR pace, or 400s at your 5K pace are vastly different. So doing 6x400s at your mile pace, but you can do 3 sets of 4 400s. Yeah.
Extend your rest time.
Yeah.
Right. So if you know that 6x400 at a mile pace is going to be a lot more intense,
right.
You're going to be training a different system.
Yeah.
Extend that rest time so you can hit it.
Yeah, hit it every time.
Yeah.
So basically adjust the rest so that you hit the interval.
Yeah, and it also depends if you want something to become more aerobic, you want to keep it truly anaerobic.
Right.
So let's say if you do like a one-to-one, so if you do like a one-to-one, then you know that's still that aerobic state, which you're training, which is great. We all need to train it. Just be aware that that's what you're trying to do. So that split, that intensity is going to be lower because the rest time's lower.
Okay.
Longer rest time, more intense you can go, right?
Okay, yeah. I get it.
Cool.
Cool, awesome.
Good seeing you. The Again Faster team is just unbelievably fit. No, some things that we saw, a lot of it came down to just efficiency of the movement, landing on the ball of foot, getting that ball of foot to hit on the center mass. These guys are so athletic that doing the drills, they picked them up so fast. So I think they'd be great if they do the drills. They're very receptive and they're awesome people and they're extremely athletic. So you can't say enough about them. So they're good.
As what you have to take, what you give to these guys, is that different from when you give to like a normal person? Like, are these guys?
No. Yeah, everything's the same. So things that I go over in the CrossFit Endurance seminars, it's the same stuff I'm gonna do with them. I think what was a little different was just their ability to pick things up. I mean, we had an hour, right? And they picked stuff up so fast. Which is just, I mean, that's the way it goes in the athletic world, right? I mean, like Jordan's gonna pick up something faster than me in basketball, right? So it's just like, but yeah, the information that I went through with them was everything that we do at the seminar. So. Yeah.
Do you think it's valuable for people who are at like a high level to take time to work on just to focus on like something like focus on their running, focus on their endurance for
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing, is that we don't treat running as a skill. We don't treat that endurance training as a skill, but it is, right? And that's the biggest misconception. People will spend hours and work on Olympic lifting and work on strength and work on gymnastics, right? But what are they going to do in a workout if a run comes up and they don't know how to run? They break down in that run. I mean, that means you're going to break down everything else, right? So I think as CrossFit grows and the level of athletes that come into it grow and that prize grows, everything needs to be on point, from your running technique to your gymnastics to your weightlifting to your metabolic conditioning. I think it all ties into one another, and the more proficient people are at everything, I mean that's CrossFit, right? Well-roundedness. So, yeah.
Well, they're actually lower differentials, so the difference between the toe height and the heel height is less than in a typical road running shoe or other running shoe. So ours is a lot lower, so it gets your heel lower to the ground, and also the cushioning isn't as soft and squishy, so it's not like you're trying to land on a marshmallow when you're doing some jerks.
How'd you guys become involved in like just CrossFit?
Oh, that was BMAC's fault from CrossFit Endurance. He and Carl Borg discovered Innovate shoes for their trail running and got in touch with the brand, and we supplied them with some shoes after they had already bought their own and worked with them. And they endorsed our brand in the CrossFit Endurance side, but then BMAC and Carl strongly suggested that someone from Innovate go and attend their certification. So I won, if you want to call it that, and it's changed my life, and I tell them that too. So that's how we got involved, and that was in May, I think, of 2009, and we actually jumped in and got a table at the CrossFit Games that same summer, and the rest is kind of history. It's been really organic the way it's grown, but it's been a lot of fun.
Just kind of reiterated some of the drills that I learned at the endurance center. Pointed out that I was still not doing everything correctly, which wasn't really a surprise, but something to remind myself to work on. And some different programming. I've been trying to program for CrossFit Bartlett's endurance program, and got some good ideas out of it, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. As you're since you started CrossFit, has your running changed a lot? Because your background is basically in running, right?
Right, and it really hasn't changed except for it's gotten slower since my track days, but I kind of have accepted that because there's no way I can run at that level and be able to do everything else that CrossFit demands. So it's just the mileage has changed significantly, but it's really cool to where CrossFit's gotten me in terms of running. I mean, I can still run a sub 6 mile, kind of no problem, without really running. So it's running miles, to get there. But I'm pretty excited about kind of my running fitness level, despite the lack of miles. I'm not doing 50, 60 mile weeks anymore, so it's kind of cool that I'm still pretty in shape. Running wise.
If you would have seen him warm up with the bar, what you see him warming up with the bar is exactly what he's doing right now. And that's why, with you, those feet of yours, we always talk about moving the feet, even on the clean, even on the snatch. Even with the barbell, he moved his feet. And that's why he's so efficient right now. And that's what I believe that the CrossFitters got to do. I believe that CrossFitters have to warm up like that. You have to warm up exactly like you're going to prepare. So, I mean, what you did with that clean, that WOD, that was very good. You're very explosive, very good. I think it could have been better if you would have and then gone, move the feet instead of keeping the feet in the same place, because now, even though you keep the feet in the same place, now there's that energy force that I have to pull up on. Even though there's a little bit of energy used in the pull to get me up here. I don't want to use any energy in the pull. I want all the energy to come from the large muscle group. So taking it here and then going, I think it would have been a lot easier on me.
Catching in my power stance rather than in your squat
stance, that landing position. So you're here, you kept the feet here, and you drove from here, which is fine, except that you lose that speed and then coming right out of that and then dropping it and going again. I mean, it's it's just an opinion, but the reason I watched that is when he warmed up with the barbell, is exactly the same as he's using right now.
knows like neural pathways, whatever.
He doesn't even think about that shit. He's just, look at that. If I took a picture of his barbell pull, and that pull right there with 120 kilos, 125, I'm telling you right now, I'd overlay it, and guess what? It's all the same. So your warm-up's got to be with the purpose, just like the end result's got to be with the same purpose. You know, it's got to be the same. I'm sorry?
What does he snatch right now? No, what is he, his head?
150. Chad, what's your best snatch?
150, 330,
330 pounds.
I live in New Zealand now, so kilos are all good for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a switch, but I'm good. 150?
Yeah.
Not bad for a white guy.
Yeah, that's okay.
Be more deliberate on your recovery, though. You know, like I know it's light for you.
Oh, when I recover.
Yeah, just like don't lose the midsection. You know, when you have 380 pounds overhead, which you should be jerking, right? You got to be fucking tight, right? So I mean, you can't fuck around. You know, really.
Man, we got some great coaches here. Chad Vaughn just gave me just a instant fix kind of cue that I'd never heard before. It's pretty cool. You know, it was about the first pull off the ground and either the snatch or the clean, and I'd always kind of struggled with going around my knees or raising my butt up, my hips without my shoulders to get my knees out of the way. And what he told me was to let my whole body drift back, just kind of collectively, and it felt really different. I don't know, maybe it worked. It's a good cue.
Wait, from the floor. So when you do that, you bypass everything here. So what am I going to have you do? Probably what Partner had you do, just with the clean. Other thing is, the dip drive on the jerk, not so deep. It's fast, not deep.
You want me to do it again?
Yeah, take it from the mid deadlift, halting deadlift, clean, squat clean. Okay. Won't kill you. Might kill him.
Big breath, short dip. Now you just need some reps with a little bit lighter weight with that short dip to learn that, because it's too low still. Yeah, it's too low. It's dragging your weight forward.
How's the clean?
It's consistent with probably the last 2 or 3, which is good. Consistency is good, but it's still out away from you a little bit. But just keep working that, because again, the more reps you do, the more naturally that's going to come in. Just keep working that contact.
Driver Spencer, arms!
You said you clean more from the knee, but what I'd like to see you do is clean from the knee, making sure that those shins are vertical, because even if before, if those shins, if you weren't in the exact right position, it's still going to be better. But work with the shins vertical right here,
and then go.
Clean. Yeah, and because right there you're going to come into contact from there, because that position is isolated.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
No, that was much better, and I think that's what Chad told him. That was much better. But and the jerk, the depth, like his depth was much more shallow, and it was a faster lift. I just still think Austin's biggest problem is that he rushes the bar from the floor, and that's just where things, you know, and he rushes it so much from the floor, he loses the ability to get fast where it matters. And
Jeff.
Yes, sir.
So when you look at people, even just specifically doing Olympic weightlifting, what do you see?
Well, I'll be honest. A lot of things that like Mike and I talk a lot about in both of our genres is how tight and active they are with their body. You know, I honestly, I start from the feet up. And first thing I want to see is how they're connecting to the ground and if they're rocking in the movement. I think if you notice too, like that seems to be what Chad and Coach really do as well. If they're rocking back in that left. So I look at that, but I also look at things like what's going on with their back and their core, and how that's involved in their movement. It's really interesting when you watch somebody warm up with the bar and then they start adding weight. You can always see when it's right and immediately when it's wrong, but you can see it in their faces too. But normally that's what I'll look at. It just, are they using their legs like they're supposed to? Or are they using their, trying to do an elbow pull with it?
Like the gymnastic stuff, like the like how to, just working on like hollow rock and rolls, and just the way to kicks up in with their, into a split and stuff like that was pretty cool. Into the straddle, a few interval ideas from Jay Leiden that for some testing ideas and the pose drills and little things like that I'm going to take home. So I'm pretty stoked.
Are you getting stuff that you can bring back to your clients?
Absolutely. I mean, everything, just like the coaching tips, certainly in gymnastics and, the Olympic lifting, the techniques, and how to, seeing and listening to their critiques is obviously, expanding my, knowledge and verbiage. So it's pretty cool.
Steve's Club is a nonprofit for at-risk teenagers. We serve kids in Camden, New Jersey, which is about a good 7 hours from here, CrossFit New England. And we came up here for the weekend to hang out with all the athletes and just really be a part of this summit that Again Faster is putting on. We sell it's called a paleo kit. It's a mix of beef jerky, nuts, and berries. And we sell it all over the country, and it helps raise money for our club, Steve's Club. And we're also in the process of starting a national program to spread CrossFit, to bring CrossFit to at-risk kids all over the country, to cities all over.
Been involved with Omega-3s since like 1990. Pretty cool family. They've been in like the fishing business for like 4 generations. So they know the value of fresh fish. So it's pretty cool place. Really great place to work for, and couldn't be happier. As a CrossFitter myself, it's kind of like I'm in heaven with all this fish oil just readily available for me and stuff. So Barlean's is really cool about following your passion, following your bliss. So they're like, whatever you want to do. I was like, okay, well, I'm a CrossFitter, and CrossFitters need help with that inflammation and stuff. So they got my back and stuff like that. That's because we have a common goal of health and fitness and everything. So
John, what was the like motivation for having the summit?
I wanted to foster team unity, and I wanted to give these guys a chance to prepare for the games. A lot of them are the best athletes in their gym. They just smoke, I'm sure, day in and day out, smoke everyone they come into contact with. That, of course, isn't the case here, and for a lot of them, it was twofold. It's, can you compete with the best, and can you maintain the mental edge when you're no longer the best? Can you rise to that occasion? Simultaneously, we got some of the best coaches in CrossFit, Bergner, Tucker, Aaron Cafaro. We got Jay Leiden all to agree to come out here, and Greg Amundsen, of course, to coach these guys up. So I just wanted to give them as much of an edge going into the competitive season as we possibly could, and frankly, just wanted them to have a good time. So,
how'd you get all these awesome coaches here together on this weekend?
Called them. Picked up the phone and said, here's what we're doing, do you want to come? And these guys care first and foremost about CrossFit and about this community, and there was no haggling, there was no let me see, there was no I'll check my calendar, there was yes, 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 and yes. So we're pretty blessed to have people like this at the forefront of the leadership of CrossFit, for sure.
Where do you see the future of the sport going? And there's the Again Faster team and the Rogue team, and where do you see it headed?
I think that we'll see the professionalization of CrossFit at that 1% level. At the among the athletes who are the best, they will be competing for those top prizes, and we'll see that level of athlete continually accelerate. I also see happening now with the Rogue team and the Again Faster team the birth of a sport. The birth of a throwdown, the birth of a team versus team, and not just individual versus individual. You know, but we talk about the money, and here's a news flash. The money does not matter. It doesn't matter. People say, you know, oh, it's a $250,000 purse. You know, people are going to roid up, and you know, NFL running backs are coming. And you know why CrossFitters compete? They compete to win. A pile of money doesn't change anything at the end of the day. It doesn't. You know, it's funny. We have a Beat the Team and Win series that we run on Facebook, and frankly, the prizes, yeah, they're okay, but I mean, it's a pair of weightlifting shoes or a pair of grips. Like, nobody's like, I gotta win that prize. They're like, I gotta win. You know, and if you think that the CrossFit spirit won't carry when we add a few zeros to the end of the price tag, you're wrong.